Good evening and welcome to the Nevis Newscast. Today is Tuesday, September 13th, 2016. I'm Fredicia Liebert. Now for the news in detail.
I think the police have, in conjunction with the defense force, they have undertaken a very significant effort to help to curb crime.
Premier and Minister responsible for security on Nevis, the Honourable Vance Emery, met today with members of the Nevis Division of the St. Kitts and Nevis Chamber of Industry and Commerce. A number of matters were discussed during that meeting, among them the issue of fighting crime.
We talk to the young people, we have them in programs, we have programs in which they could be enrolled to provide them with training and skills development. There are jobs available, but we find that there seems to be a lack of interest. But we're still persevering in that area. So the time for talking is really, we've talked a lot. And I think now we have to take some very strong measures. And that is why the Army is still, or the Defense Force is still very visible, both in St. Kitts and in Nevis. And we continue to have discussions with the advisors on policing out of England to ensure that we get the police elevated to a level where they can handle matters effectively and efficiently and professionally to curb the incidence of crime.
According to the Premier, 2 police canines will also be assigned to the Nevis Division shortly.
They'll be used for firearm detection, drug detection, things, other contraband they'll be trained to deal with. So we are just stepping up the effort a bit more.
Other aspects of policing are also being discussed with the Police High Command and the federal government, Premier Emery noted.
We are looking now more at the management and looking at hours and looking at saying to police officers, it is sort of difficult to have you moonlighting when we have serious matters, the crime. So there are matters which are being discussed as to how do you compensate officers more to get them to respond more readily and more effectively.
Premier the Honourable Vance Emery. His Excellency Governor General Sir Tapley Seaton QC earlier today visited the Charlestown and Joyceling Liebert primary schools. His first stop was at the Charlestown Primary School.
And I wanted to come to you today to introduce myself to you so that you can know that you have seen the Governor General. Because very often you just might see me in passing at a parade or something like that, but I thought I should come and spend a few minutes with you this morning. What I've done to help you is I've brought along a leaflet that I prepared which shows Government House in St. Kitts. And it has a picture of me inside with a message to everybody, welcoming them to Government House. It tells you something about the duties of the office, and it gives you the names of some of the people who have been in office before me, so that you can see stemming from where we have moved from statehood to independence. It gives you some pictures of how Government House was when it first started. And then on the back, it gives you some instances where I had children visit me in my office and speak to me, and some of them asked, how do I become Governor General? And so I was very happy to tell them to learn your lessons. Okay? Everybody will be learning the lessons well.
Sir Tapley Seaton then presented the books to Principal of the school, Latoya Jeffers, who thanked him for the kind gesture. Sir Tapley Seaton then journeyed to the Joyceling Liebert Primary School, where he made a similar presentation. Principal of the school, Barbara Hendrickson, thanked him for paying a courtesy call to the school, and teacher Ornette Webb presented him with a token of their appreciation.
On behalf of all of us here at the Joyceling Liebert Primary School and the parents that are gathered here, we would like to say thank you for gracing us with your presence. I know most of us didn't know you, so we are thankful that you came, and we would like to give you this as a token of our appreciation. Thank you, and happy independence to you as well.
His Excellency Sir Tapley Seaton was sworn in as St. Kitts and Nevis's Governor General on September 10th, 2015. In more local news,
I am honored to be included in this week's celebration of 33 years of independence.
Larry Quinlan was the guest speaker at this year's Prime Minister's Independence Lecture Series, which took place at the Nevis Performing Arts Center last evening. As Global Chief Information Officer of Deloitte, Quinlan is responsible for all facets of technology. Last evening, Quinlan, who spoke on the independence theme, promoting prosperity through sustainability and national unity, focused on technology areas of influence, the digital divide, and technology and education.
I have an enduring belief that every young person deserves a pathway to economic success, and that technology is one of those pathways. Partnerships between educational institutions and business and country leaders are key to a sustained talent pipeline. The business world is constantly looking for key technology skills in the next generation of leaders, and often there is a skills gap between what our students are prepared to contribute to the workforce and what is actually needed. So there are a few things that I believe we should do. First, we have to invest in STEM education, science, technology, engineering, and math, as you heard. We also have to address the disparity between the need for education and the availability of education. And we also have to enhance digital literacy. We must convince our children that technology is an attractive profession. We must banish the notion that girls don't like math or computers. We should promote the vision of technology careers as a truly desirable profession.
Quinlan, who said he has had the opportunity to speak in schools to many young people, pointed to his own journey as one that can be useful.
My journey to this podium started with parents who insisted on an education, who embraced technology. My 86-year-old mother has both an iPad and a laptop computer, and who believes strongly in this country. My journey continued in a high school system here with nurturing teachers who opened the world to me. I've had the opportunity to visit over 120 countries and islands, and St. Kitts and Nevis punches well above its weight class. I have the responsibility of directing over $1.5 billion in technology, but truly value the opportunity to examine the role of technology here. My role requires me to lead 4,000 people and serve 250,000 others. Yet the prospect of serving our population tops that. I worry about projects that cost a few $100 million going off the rails, but recognize that the impact of technology here in our country is just as important.
Presentation 18 of the Prime Minister's lecture series took place here in Nevis for the first time. Still to come, Prime Minister announces new head of rebranded Citizenship by Investment Unit. The details after this break.
As a responsible taxpayer, you help to finance free health care at all health centers on Nevis. Thank you for putting country above self. This message was brought to you by the Inland Revenue Department, Nevis. Be a responsible citizen.
Welcome back. Prime Minister the Honorable Dr. Timothy Harris on Monday announced at a national conference of service providers and developers under the Citizenship by Investment (CBI) program in St. Kitts and Nevis that Les Khan is the new head of the CBI unit. Addressing the service providers and developers at the conference held under the theme St. Kitts and Nevis Redefining Global Citizenship, Leading the Way Again, Harris said there are several initiatives that he is confident will reignite participation in the Federation's CBI product, positioning St. Kitts and Nevis as the clear and obvious destination for global citizenship. Les Khan is the consultant who has led the restructuring of the CBI unit over the last 18 months. With the appointment of the new head of the unit, the reforms and new marketing strategy undertaken, the government is now in a position to implement its rebranding efforts, Prime Minister Harris said, adding that the government will now be more aggressive in its rebranding and is prepared to tell the story of change in a more interactive and personal manner, enter the roadshow circuit, and participate in selective conferences to shore up market demand while it looks to explore more market opportunities. According to the Prime Minister, CAN will be leading a well-disciplined local team with a broad cross-section of skills to strengthen the Federation's resource capabilities in order to deliver a platinum service from people with high-level expertise in marketing, immigration, international banking, anti-money laundering, and administration. The 4th Nevis Girls Brigade on Saturday, September 10th, celebrated 50 years of service to home, church, and the community. The milestone was celebrated with a dinner and award ceremony at Lynn's Deli. 14 persons were presented with awards to mark the Golden Jubilee in recognition of their contribution as members of the organization. The first captain of the 4th Nevis Girls Brigade, Millicent Hendrickson John, the First Lieutenants Janet Hodge Claxton, Camilla Halbert Hanley, Inola Procope, and Gwendolyn Mills Pierre-Louis, and the 1st Brigade Brooch holder and the holder of the coveted Duke of Edinburgh Gold Award, Millicent Wade Jones, the 1st Chaplain of the 4th Nevis Girls Brigade, Reverend Wilfred Hodge. The other awardees were Captain Carmelita Merchant, Lieutenant Althea Simon Liebert, Past Lieutenants Florence Smithen, Ianson Barrett, and Leonora Walwyn, Parent Chef Tessa Parry, and Parent Representative Veronica Hanley. The 4th Nevis Girls Brigade is a ministry of the Charlestown Methodist Church.
Because your organization is a service-oriented entity, you are to extend your influence in the community. You cannot be a shining light in your company and in the church, and you are not affecting the community in which you live. So whatever good you have in you in terms of your discipline, in terms of your conduct, in terms of the way you carry yourself, much must be spilled over into the community. I congratulate you and wish you the very best as you celebrate your 50th anniversary. And may God continue to grant you wisdom, knowledge and understanding, and the desire to go on and on.
The keynote address was delivered by Premier the Honorable Vance Amory.
It takes serious tenacity to last for 50 years. And this organization, I want to commend Mrs. Merchant for keeping the ball rolling, keeping things going. Because in this day and age, we need organizations like the Girls Brigade. There's no question. We need organizations which will instill in our people, and in this case in our young girls, good qualities, good values. It is therefore important that the Girls Brigade organization, celebrating its, the 4th Nevis, celebrating its 50th anniversary during this year, that we recognize the contribution which this organization has made to maintaining some stability among our young people in Nevis.
The 4th Nevis Girls Brigade was established in September 1966. Girls Brigade is an international Christian movement empowering girls to succeed in tomorrow's world. That's it for this edition of the Nevis Newscast. On behalf of all of us here at the Department of Information, I'm Felicia Liebert. Thank you for viewing.